Well, earlier this morning, we heard from Uber on the launch of ride-sharing in BC. Now we're hearing from their main competition, Lyft. Joining us is Lyft General Manager Peter Lukomsky. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
It was a big day yesterday, a long time coming. You were just saying if it were up to you, you would declare it a provincial holiday if we could, right?
You know what? I think that's what BC deserves. I was in the States earlier this week, Martin Luther King Day on the Monday. We need a January holiday, and what better day than Lift Up Day?
There you go.
Right?
How was day one? Tell us about any concerns you might have had or any kinks that needed to be ironed out. How was the first day?
I think the first day went really well. Clearly, we let drivers know earlier that morning that we were about to operate. So trying to get people out on the roads within an hour or two is definitely a challenge. So the community came out for us, but probably not in the force that we would have liked to see. Over the next few weeks here, we're going to see it really develop.
And tell us about the timeline then, about the expansion, because Lyft is operating in a pretty localized area, parts of Metro Vancouver, the P&D Fairgrounds and YVR, and that's it for now.
Yeah, exactly. What we did was we matched our operating area to the number of drivers that we had in the community. We want to make sure that drivers and riders have a really great experience. And so low wait times and keeping our drivers busy were things that we designed our operating region around.
Okay, so in terms of a timeline for people who are in other parts of Metro Vancouver, or even the Fraser Valley, who are eagerly awaiting being able to use this service, how long will it be before you're able to expand into other municipalities?
Well, it really depends on the driver community and how quickly we can grow that community. What we're doing is we've invested in free driving school for anybody who wants a Class 4 license. We've got driver hubs set up in Surrey, in Richmond, in Vancouver to help onboard drivers, and really creating that driver community. So the more drivers we can get, the bigger the region will get.
And of course, there are regulations preventing you from expanding as well. Will you be moving into other municipalities before a regional ride-sharing license is established, before there's a unified approach to this? Will there be expansion into, say, Surrey and Burnaby?
We've taken the approach to look at every jurisdiction on a city-by-city basis. We currently have our license for the City of Vancouver, and we have our license for the City of Richmond.
Okay.
And we're operating at YVR and parts of the City of Vancouver. We're really supportive of this intermunicipal licensing process that's currently going through, and looking forward to operating in all of Metro once those licenses come through.
Okay. How is Lyft differentiating itself from Uber?
Oh, I think what we're really trying to show is how much we're invested in this community. We really are here for the long haul. Those types of relationships that we've built with regulators, with the governments in each of the regions, those are things that we invest in long before we got here. We've also really invested in the community. We had an amazing event yesterday where in our inaugural ride we went to Covenant House, dropped off some donations, and also announced that the first 10,000 rides will be donating $5 to Covenant House from every one of those rides. We've got the Vancouver Canucks as a partner, Vancouver Tourism as a partner. We're really here for the long haul for this community.
Now, you did release your pricing structure yesterday, and it is very similar to Uber's pricing structure, but there are some key differences in the per kilometer and the per minute rates that are in effect. Tell us about how that pricing is established and when surge pricing might kick in. What do people need to know about that?
Right. So when we established our pricing, we actually published it in mid-December. Basically, we looked at what we thought was fair pricing for British Columbia, for Vancouver. And surge pricing, to your other question, is really around when there's peak demand. So what we want to do is make sure that drivers have that opportunity to earn more at a time when riders are willing to pay more. So when a concert lets out or a hockey game lets out, you might see a little bit of an increase in pricing, but that's really so that the drivers can make fair gains during a time when people are willing to pay more.
All right. Lyft General Manager Peter Lukomsky, thanks so much for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me.